ओम सर्व वेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तम गोचरम गोविंदम परमानंदम सद्गुरुं प्रणतोस्म्यहम्. We have been studying Shankaracharya's Viveka Chudamani, and last occasion we studied up to Shloka 367. We found that from Shloka 341 to 366, it was the need of Nirvikalpa Samadhi for realizing our real nature. And from 367, a new topic as if starts, and that is the practical sadhana. We are now entering very deep into Vedanta sadhana from this shloka onwards. We will have to be very careful and we will have to find the meaning of each word in practical life. What we have to do as sadhana to arrive at Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is being told now. Was told as the absolute necessary for realizing the goal of life. How to come to that Nirvikalpa Samadhi? So much illumination was given in the previous shlokas, but now the process of meditation or Nididhasan is being described. Steps after step, layer after layer, depth after depth is being described. So we go back to 367. Yogasya prathama dvaram vang nirodho parigraha nirasha cha niriha cha nityam ekanta shilata. Yoga means sadhana, that prapti upaya. And prathama dvaram is the first step. Vang nirodha, nirodha means restraining. Restraining the organ of speech. This is the most important organ of work, and it stands for all organs of work also. So general restraining for the karmendriyas, aparigraha, non-receipt of free gifts, non-accumulation of unnecessary things, nirasha, desirelessness, virya, activitylessness, nityam ekanta shilata, nityam, regular habit of resorting to a secluded place. This was the head. Now what does that resorting to secluded place do in our life? How to proceed? We come to 368. They're connected. 367 started from Vang Nirod, ended in Ekanta Shilata, and from there we pick up for 368. Ekanta Sthitir Indriyo Paramane Heturutama Shetasa Samrodhe Karanam Shamena Vilayam Yayat Aham Vasana Tena Nandarasana Bhuti Rachala Brahmi Sada Yogina Tasma Chitta Nirodha Eva Satatam Karya Prayatno Mune. And read it again according to the breaks meaning. Ekanta Sthiti Indriyoparamane Hetu Tamaha Chetasa Samrodhe Karanam Yamena Amasana Vilayam Yaya Tena Ananda Rusana Bhuti Rachala Yogina Sada Brahmi Tasmat Chitta Nirodha Eva Satatam Karya Prayatno Mune. So this Ekanta Sthiti, taking resort of a secluded place, Indriyoparamane Hetu, that is, in withdrawal of Indriyas. That becomes the hetu, cause, source of the withdrawal of Indriyas. When we are in busy society, our Indriyas have to work. When we are alone, then it is possible for Indriyas to be withdrawn. There is a connection. Here I may tell something important practically, because this is for a man of knowledge. Ravana Manana, one who has done, for him the Nididasana is prescribed. And for that Ekanta Sthiti is necessary. In Bengali there is a proverb. Ekante, what happens in Ekanta? Gyanir bade gyan, kamir bade kam. The Jnani, his knowledge will increase. And a man with lust or desire, his lust or desire will increase. The Ekanta Sthiti is not for all. Ekanta Sthiti is for this man of knowledge who has already finished his Shravan and Manan, and due to which a deep impression about Brahman has been created in his mind, and which he is trying to realize by sticking to that through Nididasana. For such a person, Ekanta Sthiti becomes the cause of withdrawal of organs. Dama, Dama is the withdrawal of organs. Control of the organs is called Dama. Chetasa Samrodhe Karanam. Chetasa of the mind stuff. Samrodhe Nirod, same as restraining Karanam. It becomes the cause of, Dama becomes the cause of Indriya Chetasa Samrodhe. If we practice in this order, the withdrawal of the senses, then that becomes the cause of Chitta Nirod. The mind becomes restrained from jumping and from going up. When the mind is under control, what happens? Vasana vilayam yaya. Desires depending upon I consciousness. Desires depending upon all the desires depend upon I consciousness. If there is an I, which is a subject living among the objects, desires are bound to happen. All desires are generated from aham vasana. But if we restrain our mind in the regular process, then I cannot function. If the I cannot function, then the desires depending upon I consciousness will disappear, will be dissolved. Then what will happen? The important link is that if this individual I is not there, the real nature will shine. If the individual I is not there, the real nature will shine. Tena means by that disappearance of the aham vasanas, ananda rasanubhuti rachala, steady, ananda rasa anubhuti will experience of the bliss of Brahman. Will experience the bliss of Brahman if the desires depending upon the I consciousness stop from me. That is belongs to Brahman. This Ananda Rasanubhuti is the characteristics of Brahman. Depending upon Brahman, this Ananda Rasanubhuti takes place. Yogina for the sadhak. Sadhak who started from one Nirodha has reached the Ananda Rasanubhuti through these steps. Tasmat. So what we have to attempt? Chitta Nirodha. Chitta Nirodha came after Ekanta Sthiti Indriyoparamane Hetu Dama Chetasa Sanrodhe Karanam. So that will in between a step, but that is the most important step. And so it takes up that Nirodha we have to do, Aparigraha we have to do, Nirasha, Niriha, Ekanta Shilata, but when the Indriyas are withdrawn, then will come the restraining of the mind. So he says, Tasmat, therefore, the restraining of the mind has to be practiced by the Muni, the thinker. Satatam karya prayatno. Now here, let me tell something. Restraining of the waves of the mind, that is what Patanjali tells. Chitta vritti nirodha, yoga. And here Acharya tells Chitta nirodha. Chitta nirodha. So this nirodha is different from Patanjali's nirodha. Patanjali's approach is through the mind, and Vedantic approach is through Brahman, characteristics of Brahman. It depends upon arousal of Brahma consciousness. So all these steps are flooded with, we may say, knowledge. Knowledge is the basis of every step in Vedanta. Mind is the basis of all the steps in yoga. That is a great difference. So here, Chitta Nirodha, one should not confuse with the Yoga Chitta with the Nirodha. Here Chitta Vrittis are being stopped. Here the Chitta itself is stopped from functioning. When the Chitta stops from functioning, our real nature would shine. So we should always try for all these things, mainly the Chitta Nirodha. We have to start one Nirodha, etc., all they have to be done so that if Chitta Nirodha happens, then Aham Vasanas will go and the real nature will shine. For that only, we have to practice Chitta Nirodha. It is not through force of will, it is not through the concentration of the mind, it is through illumination. The illumination provided in more than 100 shlokas up till now, all that illumination has to be applied. And we have to feel that I am not this body, not this mind. They are not real. Not only I am not this, but they are not real. This has been taught in more than 100 shlokas. So through that illumination, this has to happen. When we can feel that this is unreal, this is not I and this is unreal, my chitta is not I, my chitta is unreal. Then only chitta nirodha happens, not through controlling of the waves. So, Chitta Nirodha should not be confused with Patanjali Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which is through the mind and will. This is through illumination of knowledge. And so, all the accessories are necessary, which you do not find in Patanjali. That is, Vang Nirodha, Aparigraha, all that ends in Sadananda state of consciousness. So, Chitta Nirodha is achieved through illumination. Now the same topic continues, and a shloka has been borrowed from Kathopanishad with a little change in this language. Pacham niyachatmanitam niyacha buddho dhyam yacha sabuddhi sakshini tam chapi purnatmani nirvikalpe vilapya shantim paramam bhajasva. Here in the translation, the word nirodha or restraint has been repeated. But the word is new here. And the word is niyacha. Niyacha will mean offer or put this into that. Niyacha means put this into that. Offer this to that. Merge this into that. So that is different from restraining. I don't believe that the restraining is being proceeded further. Vacha. Vangnirodha. Vangnirodha was a doubt. Here now we are told Vani has to be offered in the mind. Atmani here stands for mind. So Vacham Manasi Niyacha, let us try to understand how this takes place. How we can offer our Vani into mind. The translation and the notes suggest that we have to restrain the Vani and then mind will stop. That was prescribed in 368 definitely. But the importance of the word Niyacha is there. How to dissolve Vani into mind? Simply by not working Vani. I told that this is through illumination. Let us feel that mind appears as Vani. Mind functions as Vani. Mind manifests itself as Vani. So what is real? Comparatively, mind. Is its appearance Vani. If this illumination works in us, that Vani is not real, mind is real comparatively, then the Vani does not function. So restraining, if you accept this restraining, because it was told in the previous shloka, the restraining is we have to accept both the words. The restraining was the word, and now niyacha is the word. So we have to not give up this word. We have to accept both the words. Restraining happens through offering or putting or dissolving by illumination. We know that one is one of the functions of the mind. And so mind is comparatively more real. Mind is comparatively nearer to my real nature than my Vani. And so this illumination will make the Vani stop and it will be only in the mind. Tam niyacha buddha is this determinative faculty where the tinge of I consciousness plays. So where the reflected consciousness plays, that is buddhi. That when works, it works through the mind. That when allowed to function, appears as the function of the mind. So mind has to be dissolved or put or offered into that buddhi, means you have to illumine that. It is the buddhi which is appearing as the mind. So instead of the mind becomes stopped there, buddhi place. So the restraining is through this illumination. Buddha dhyam yacha. He is also buddhi. So what is the difference here? Dissolve buddhi into buddhi. This buddhi means, no, sorry. Vacham niyacha atmani tam niyacha buddhau. Not buddhi into buddhi, tam niyacha buddhau. Yam yacha cha buddhi sakshini. What is buddhi sakshini? I consciousness. The reflected consciousness is witness of whatever is happening into buddhi. Whatever is happening into buddhi, which has a shade of I consciousness, is known to the I consciousness. So, offer that into that means restraining that through illumination, that it is one of the functions of I consciousness. So, what I have to seek is the I consciousness. We have to manifest the I consciousness, by which the function of the buddhi will stop. Now, what happens to that I consciousness? Tam chapi purnatmani nirvikalpe. I consciousness is the reflection of the real nature of Atman, which has no second. Atmani Nirvikalpe means Atman which is one without a second, the consciousness which is one without a second reflects as my I consciousness, your I consciousness, and I consciousness of everybody. So this illumination that my I consciousness is just a reflection of the real universal consciousness will make that I consciousness dissolve into that real consciousness. Nirvikalpe vilapya will dissolve this. Shantim paramam bhajaso. Then when the real nature shines, you are real peace, you are the supreme peace. So the process of restraining, come, offering, means illumination transcendental to feel that this is a manifestation of that. So that becomes more real than this, and this dissolves, this stops. Then the other thing is more real than this, so that stops or dissolves into that. So here stopping and dissolving both have to be accepted. And then finally, I consciousness gets dissolved into the real consciousness. I consciousness stops means does not play separately, and that is the Paramam Shanti. I hope I made it clear. The restraining is done through illumination, not through mind or will. So restraining and offering, when we accept both the meanings, then we understand that the reflection is done by the transcendental knowledge that the real is that this is appearance. Deha pranendriya mano buddhyadevi rupadevi येर वृत्ते समायोगा तत्त भावो से योगिना. This is what is happening. When we do not restrain, when we do not dissolve this into that, that is what is happening. Tattat bhavo asya yogina. This sadhak becomes colored with that. Deho. Yer vrutte sama yoga. There is functioning. That is called vrutti. And if I get my eye consciousness identified with that functioning of the body, then it becomes like that. Prana, my vital function, my karmendriyas, they are functioning. And if I become identified with that function, then my coloring changes. Mind, in the mind there are waves. And if I identify myself with the mind, then those waves I become. Buddhyadi, the buddhi or the determinative faculty and the I consciousness behind that. If I become identified with that, that is what is happens. Area Urte Sama Yoga. Sama Yoga is joining. Tattat Bhava Se Yogina. Yogi gets that bhava. And so, dissolving one into the other, slowly the yogi has come to this state that he can feel the absolute peace, the Nivruttya. So the 370 is only a statement of facts, and the connection is with the next sloka, the Nivruttya. When that is withdrawn, different words are being used. Restraining is one thing, dissolving is one thing. Here, withdrawal, Nivruttya. Withdrawal, that means it does not function. Then Nivruttya. That means Deha, Prana, Indriya, Mano, Buddha, all these are Nivrutta. Nivrutta means now they are not being thrown into waves. Their vritti or the waves were making me feel like them, but now if it becomes waveless, Mune Samyak Sarvapuramunam Sukham. For the Muni, it means the total withdrawal of everything and bliss only is the result. Bliss does not come, happiness does not come by Indriya attaching to an object. That is only delusion. Misery comes. Sukha or bliss is our own nature. So when all these are restrained, when all these are illumined and do not throw any wave, then our real nature shines. That is bliss. Sandrishyate Sadananda Rasanabhava Viplava. But we'll see then Viplava, a flood. Sada Ananda Rasanabhava, a flood of experience of bliss will be seen. When all these are felt to be not I, when all these are felt to be non-real, then the final result will be bliss when we will directly experience himself. Sadananda Rasanubhava Viplava, the flooding by abundance of bliss. No, who can do that? Who can do that? In one of the previous shlokas, we had got this sannyasi. Here now Vairagi will come. Antastyago Bhahistyago Viraktasaiva Yujyate Rajatyantar Bhahisangam Viraktastu Mukshaya. Inner Tyaga. Inner Tyaga means mind not attached to anything is inner Tyaga. Bhahistyaga actually giving up those things. Actually giving up things physically and mentally is possible only for the Vairagyava or one who has cultivated a dispassion for these things, then only this Tyaga is possible. And why the Vairagyavan gives up them? Mumuksha. Vairagyavan is desirous of liberation, and so he gives up the internal attachment and the objects also he gives up. So sadhana is proceeding in which this tyaga is an important thing, giving up mentally and physically, possible for the Vairagi because he wants liberation. So he renounces everything mentally and physically. वैस्तु विषये संगम तथा अंतरामादिवि विरक्त एव शक्नोति त्यक्तुम ब्रह्मणि निश्रिता. It is being emphasized. What is internal tyaga? Ahamadivi. See how much vairagya is necessary. Every I consciousness has to be renounced. Every attachment. What is a man attached to? Not only outside objects. A man is attached to his personality. Man is attached to his so-called individuality. And that is the obstruction. And so the inner tyaga has to go proceed that much. Renouncing home and earth and taking sannyas is not sufficient. So there should be no I. Now that is at the root of chitta vritti nirodha. That is at the root of restraining. How can this I be lost? In Brahman only. So illumination of everything through elimination of I consciousness is the way. One has to renounce I consciousness and other things inside. That means working with the mind, etc. And outside, one has to renounce all the objects. This is possible only for a Vairagyava. Brahmani Nishtita Vairakta Eva Shaknoti. Vairagyavan does not only give up things. Vairagyavan becomes steady in his Brahma consciousness. They go side by side. Virag and Anurag. Love for the Brahman and Vairagya for the outside world. When the Vairagi has love for his reality, when the Vairagi is steadfast in his reality, then only he can give up his I consciousness. That is the statement. So two things are there. self-consciousness about one's real nature, and vairagya. Vairagya is possible because of self-consciousness. So there are two things dependent on each other as if वैराग्य बोधो पुरुषस्य पक्षिवत् वैराग्य बोधौ पुरुषस्य पक्षिवत् पक्षो विजानीहि विचक्षणत्वं विमुक्ति सौदाग्रलताधिरोहणं नाभ्यां विना नान्यतरेण सिद्ध्यति. Here a figure is given to us. Vimukti or Mukti is a palace. And a creeper has gone right up to the window of the palace from the ground. Vimukti Sauda Agralata. And we have to climb upon that creeper to enter the palace. Then a bird has to fly there. Bird means ourself. It has to fly with two wings. Vairagya is one wing, consciousness of the reality is another wing. So they go side by side. Vairagya and both of the reality. They go side by side, and the Pakshi, the bird, climbs that because it is a creeper. Pakshi goes up and up and up that creeper by these two wings. And when it reaches the top, it enters the palace. That is Mukti. This is a figure giver. You have seen in Upanishads two birds. This is a little different figure. Abhyamina nanya tarena siddhati. If he has vairagya but not the correct bodha, he cannot enter the palace. If he has bodha but without any vairagya, he cannot enter the palace. So the two aspects of sadhana are being emphasized here. All the practical points of sadhana are being taken up one by one now. So vairagya and bodha are the two wings by which the bird will climb the creeper to the palace, but in the absence of one, the other cannot do that. In the absence of this, that cannot do that. So equal importance of both vairagya and right consciousness are being described. Atyanta vairagyavata samadhi समाहितस्यैव दृढप्रबोधः प्रबुद्धतत्त्वस्य बन्धमुक्तिर् मुक्तात्मनो नित्यसुखानुभूतिः. No, prabodha is there, but that prabodha has to become firm. It will become firm through vairagya. Vairagya will make the bodha, otherwise the bodha is unsteady. Now I am feeling Brahman, I am feeling objects of the senses. That bodha is not useful. So when I have dispassion for the objects, internal and external, that leads to samadhi. Because if there is vairagya, mind gets absorbed in Brahman. Where will it go? When one attains samadhi, then the bodha becomes dhrida. So we have already been told that it is samadhi which will give us realization. Here, vairagya and both are there. Vairagya gives us samadhi, and that makes the bodha form. Suppose the bodha has become permanent, is bandhamukti, then all bondages fall. There is no place for a bondage now. What happens if one is free? Nitya sukha anubhuti. So they say the taste of pudding is in eating. So the final result of everything is nitya sukha. Nitya sukha anubhuti is the final result. It comes like this. We have been told that vairagya and both are necessary. Vairagya gives samadhi, and that samadhi makes the bodha form. And then when the bodha is formed, then all the bondage drops down, and then we get nitya sukhanubhuti. So in different ways, the different phases and aspects of sadhana are being made. The emphasis in the last some shlokas is on Vairagya. Vairagyanna param sukhasya janakam pashyami vashyatmana तच्चेत शुद्ध तरात्म बोध सहितम स्वराज्य साम्राज्य दो एतद्वारम अजस्र मुक्ति युवतेर यस्मात् तमस्मात् परम सर्वत्र स्पृहया सदात्मनि सदा प्रज्ञां कुरु श्रेयसे. Here another figure is given, and here the figure is Mukti is being described as a yuvati, a young woman. Mukti is being described as a young woman, and for the swayamvar of young woman, everybody is going there, but who will get her? Will get her? Vairagyat na param sukhasya janakam. One has to experience this to understand this. Ordinary sadhakas or grasthas are not able to feel this even. The more dispassion I have, the more happiness I have. The more attached I am misery I have. The so-called enjoyment leads to misery every time. But if dispassion is there, I don't want anything, then happiness is there. Vashyatmana, one who has controlled himself, for him, there is no other force giving him happiness than Vairagya. A man of self-control, if he has Vairagya, he gets happiness. No other source will give him that happiness. Tachet, if Vairagyam is Shuddhatara Atmabodha Saitam, the purer Atmabodh is there along with Vairagya. If Vairagya is with purer Atmabodha, Parajya Samrajya to, then he enjoys or he possesses the emperor. He becomes the empire of his own. We are emperors of our own real nature. That is achieved if Vairagya is along with Shuddhatara Atmabodh. Etadvaram, and that becomes the door. Ajasra means continuous. Mukti Yuvati. Mukti Yuvati, the door to Mukti Yuvati, a continuous Mukti Yuvati door is this Vairagya plus knowledge giving us Samrajya, our own real nature. Asmat Tvam, Asmat Param. So from now, what you should do, the Guru is telling the Shishya, Asmat Param, from now on, what you should do, Sarvatra Aspraya Prajnam Kuru Shreyase. Aspraya means without any desire. Everywhere, without any desire, always you should have the wisdom or the experience of your own real nature. So, Bodha and Vairagya are being combined again because this Vairagya is making the both form and you are getting Mukti. Therefore, from now on, in every respect, you should have desirelessness and Prajna, the inner knowledge about Atman. Guru Shreyase, you should do if you want moksha. For the sake of moksha, for now on, you must combine these two forces and then you will win the race. Again, same thing in a different way. Asham chindi vishopameshu visheshu eshaiva mrutyo kruti Yaktva jati kulashrame shavimatim munchati durat kriya dehadau asati त्यजात्म दिशनम प्रज्ञाम कुरुष्वात्मनि त्वं दृष्टासि अमनोपि निर्द्वय परम ब्रह्मासि यद वस्तुतः. some more important points involved are being expressed. Asham chindi visheshu, vishopameshu visheshu. Actual objects are like poison. Cut down your desires for objects which are like poison. Isha eva mrityu kriti, that is the form of death. Visha will give you death, poison. And objects are poison. They are the images of death. And you must. So it's inspiring us by telling the real nature. Asham give another point. Where is our abhiman? Where is our I consciousness like? Jati kula ashrameshu abhimatim muncha. I am born of such a caste. I am born in such a family. I am a brahmachari, grastha, vanaprastha, sannyas. These are the subtle attachments of the mind. These are the subtle sources of I consciousness. In Sri Ramakrishna's life we read, he used to remove his sacred thread, then only sit for meditation. His cousin brother asked him, are you not doing a sin? He said, no. I am Brahmin, should not remain in the mind. Therefore, I am giving up the external signs of Brahminam. So that is what Shankar is telling us. Jati kula ashrameshu abhimatim muncha. I am a brahmachari. You must give up the ego coming out of this. I am a brahmachari. So jati kula, the new points have come here. Ashrameshu abhimatim, abhiman. I am that. Muncha. Ati dura kriya muncha. So the subject-object function depends upon all these subjects. So if these are given up, subject-object functions will be thrown at a distance. Durat kriya muncha. Dehadau asati tajatma dishana. Deha, indriyas, man, buddhi are unreal. The feeling that I am that must be given up. So the vairagya and the all comprehensive illumination is being given for sadhana. These are our practical points of sadhana. Atmadishana, the concept that I am this, unreal Dehadi. Then after giving up, what is to be done? Prajnam Kurusha Atmani. Prajnam is the inner knowledge. It must be put for the real nature of Atman. Both positive and negative things are continuously being told, and negative thing also has illumination from the positive. So they are unreal, so we have to give up. And what we have to catch? Nidhidas. What we have to catch? The real Atman. Now that your real Atman is being emphasized, Tom Drashta, see, you are the witness, you are the consciousness alone. Amanopi, you are not the mind. Nirdvaya Param Brahma, see, you are Param Brahma, which does not have an alternate. Advaya Parabrahma is called Nirdvaya Parabrahma. The one without a second Brahma, that is what you are. And this you have to hold on by your prajna, giving up everything else, not being identified with anything else. That is the sadhana of Nididasana. Lakshe Brahmani Manasam Dridhataram Sanstapyat by Endriyam Swasthane Viniveshya Nishchalatana Chopeksha Deha Sthitim ब्रह्मात्मैक्यमुपेत्य तन्मयतया चाखंड वृत्त्यानिशम ब्रह्मानंदरसं पिबात्मनि मुदा शून्यैकमन्यैर्भृशम्. Lakshya is Brahman. Put your mind firmly into that. Put your mind firmly into your Lakshya, which is Brahman. Ayendriyam Swasthani Vidivesh. What the external Indriyas will do, let them remain in their sockets. Let the Bahyendriyas remain in their sockets. Mind you put in Brahman. Mind should not be put in the Indriyas, otherwise Indriyas will start functioning. If Indriyas function, mind will be pulled up. So mind put in Brahman and let the Indriyas remain in their socket. Swasthane Viniveshya. Nishchala Tanu, body should be held firm. Upeksha Deha Sthiti, then forget about the body. Put the body firm, put the mind in Brahman, don't think of the body then. You will reach then identity with Brahman. Brahmatmaikam upetya. Tanmayataya, being absorbed in that, akhanda vrittya. So vritti is functioning, but that vritti should be akhanda. Continuously, same vritti should function, giving up everything, that I am nothing but Brahman. That is the vritti. Anisham, let there be no night in that. That means night or day should spend only in the vritti of Am Brahmasmi, Manandarasam Piva. It is like drinking the nectar of Brahman. Atmani Muda, be happy with your own self. Shunne ki manne poshan. Everything else is zero. Why go there? Everything else being zero, why go there? Always remain in Atman or Brahman, which is bliss. So the process is being described in so many ways. Anatma chintanam tyaktva kashmalam dukkha karanam chintayatmanam anandam rupam yanmukti karanam. That which is not self, give up thinking about that. That is impure. That is the cause of misery. Think of your own real nature, that is bliss, and that is the cause of your mukti. Giving up every thought about the external world and thinking always about your real nature, that is the cause of mukti. We are now proceeding towards Nirvikalpa Samadhiya, Vritti has come. Esha Swayam Jyotirashesha Sakshi Vijnana Kosho Vilasati Ajasram Laksham Vidayenam Asad Vilakshanam Akhanda Vrutyatmataya Anubhavaya, experience. What one has to experience? Esha, this Atman is Swayam Jyoti. It is self-luminous. Ashesha Sakshi. It does not change while it knows everything. Vijnana Kosho Vilasati Ajasram. It manifests itself as I consciousness. Continuously it manifests itself as I consciousness. The reality is Swayam Jyoti. Laksham Vidaya, make this as the target. Asad Vilakshanam, different from the unreal. Through that Akhanda Vritti, Atmataya, Anubhavaya. Experience Brahman as yourself through the Akhanda Vritti, through this illumination. That the reality appears as I consciousness, make that reality as your Lakshya, which is different from anything unreal, and through that continuous Vritti, experience the reality. एतम अच्छिन्नया वृत्त्या प्रत्ययान्तरशून्यया उल्लेखयन् विजानीयात् स्वरूपतया स्वस्वरूपतया स्फुटम् अविच्छिन्न वृत्ति. It should be continuous. Pratyantara shunya. No other experience should be allowed. I should be identified with Brahman, with nothing else. Ullekayan. So reflect on that. Vijaniya, then experience that. That is your real nature. Clearly you can experience that. One more I will read. अत्रात्मत्वं दृढीकुर्वन् अहमादिषु सन्त्यजन् उदासीनतया तेषु तिष्ठे स्फुटघटादिवत्. Oh, स्फुटघटादिवत्. You see a jar, you are not that jar, you are very clear about it. Similarly, your eye consciousness, you should feel that it is just like a jar. Ahamadishu. Eye consciousness, mind, etc., they are just objects like a jar. Atra, in the real self, Atmatvam Dridhikurya. Be firm to make that as yourself. Udasinataya teshu. In all other objects, you should be udasin, indifferent. Just like you are indifferent about a jar, be indifferent about arm and all other objects and see only the reality as your real nature. So many sides of practical sadhana are being described. In this way, when we will reach the goal finally, we stop here today. We are read up to 382 today. We stop here. The same thing continues and Nirvikal Samadhi will be described in 408. Another 20-25 shlokas. Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hare Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.